Okay, let's dive in. We're talking about something pretty fundamental today, our relationships. Friends, partners, family, they're just crucial for a good life.
Absolutely. They bring so much joy, support, that feeling of belonging.
But this is the thing, we all know strong connections don't just happen. They take work, real intentional effort.
Right. And the material we looked at, it really gets into the how you actually do that work. It talks a lot about strengthening mateship is the term they
Clear
use.
sip. Okay.
Yeah, that deep, reliable connection in your closest relationships. It's all about the sort of active ingredients needed.
Got it. So our mission here for this deep dive is really to pull out the key takeaways from this material. Find those practical tips, maybe even some, game-changing ideas to help you build stronger connections.
Exactly. Based on what these sources are saying.
And they seem to focus on 5 main areas, is that right?
Yeah, 5 core areas that form a pretty clear roadmap. It's less about like huge romantic gestures
Right.
and more about consistent effort in these specific places.
Okay, let's get into the first one then. Communication. But they call it communicating with heart. What's that about?
Well, it's seeing communication as more than just swapping info. It's really the engine for connection. The sources stress being, clear, honest, but also kind.
Kind is key there.
Definitely. And opening up about how you feel, what you need, what your boundaries are.
And they emphasize how you say it too, right? There was a specific technique.
Oh, yeah, crucial. Using I statements, it's a classic for a reason. The example they give is great.
Remind me.
Instead of like, you never planned anything, you ruined the weekend, which is just pure accusation.
Yep, puts them on the defensive immediately.
Right. You shift it to, I feel overwhelmed when we don't have a plan for the weekend. See? It's about your feeling.
Ah, okay. It takes the blame right out, focuses on your experience. Much more inviting.
Exactly. It invites understanding, not a fight. And just as vital as expressing yourself is, well, really listening.
Active listening.
Huge emphasis on that in the sources. Putting distractions away seriously, put the phone down.
Uh-huh. Easier said than done sometimes.
True. But making eye contact, really engaging. It's not just waiting to talk.
So you're actually processing what they're saying.
Precisely. And one thing they suggest is reflecting back what you heard. Just simple stuff like, okay, so it sounds like you're feeling stressed about that deadline
Shows you're paying attention.
and that you care enough to understand. That builds trust. Oh, and they also warn against, passive-aggressive stuff or blaming. Super corrosive, apparently.
Makes sense. So it's honest, kind talking, and really deep listening. They even suggest, regular check-ins.
They do, like a relationship tune-up. Weekly, maybe even quick daily check-ins.
A tune-up, I like that.
Yeah, it's framed as essential maintenance. Proactive care, so small things don't blow up.
Ongoing care, not just damage control.
Exactly. It's about consistent investment.
Which actually leads perfectly into the second point. Investing quality time and celebrating wins. Relationships need fuel, the sources say.
They absolutely need nourishment, and they're careful to distinguish just like being in the same physical space from actual quality time.
Right, there's a difference.
Big difference. Quality time means being present. No distractions, notifications off, attention on the other person.
Intentional, dedicated space.
Yes. Planning specific moments. Could be a quiet dinner, no screens allowed, or a hike, maybe a shared hobby. Cooking, gaming, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, something you both enjoy.
The goal is just focused connection. Creating those shared experiences makes you feel like a team.
For
And
sure.
interestingly, the sources mention research showing that trying new things together,
Oh, yeah.
like taking a dance class, exploring a new part of town, that's actually linked to higher satisfaction in the relationship. Keeps things fresh.
Keeps the spark alive, prevents stagnation. That's cool.
Right. And it's not just big adventures. Even small rituals matter. That morning coffee chat, an evening walk. Those regular focused moments build connection.
So big stuff and little stuff. You also mentioned celebrating wins.
Yeah, this was highlighted as really vital. True mates aren't just there when things are tough.
They're your cheerleaders, too.
Exactly, your biggest cheerleaders. Celebrating successes, big or small a promotion, hitting a personal goal, whatever it is, showing genuine happiness for them.
That's so important. Sharing the joy reinforces that you're on their side. You're a team.
Absolutely, it builds that positive feeling, that shared history. So dedicated time and celebrating each other, key ingredients.
Okay, tip 3. This one's tough sometimes. Embracing conflict as a growth opportunity. Conflict happens, right? How do the sources say we should handle it?
Well, their angle is that conflict itself isn't bad. It's how you navigate it that matters. Avoiding it just lets things fester.
Right, the silent treatment doesn't help.
Not at all. They suggest approaching disagreements with curiosity.
Curiosity. How so?
Instead of getting defensive, asking yourself, okay, what's really going on for them right now? What's underneath this?
Trying to understand their perspective.
Yeah. Focusing on solving the problem together, like you're a team against the issue, not against each other.
That's a big shift.
It is. And they recommend setting ground rules for arguments before you're in the heat of it.
Ground rules? Like what?
Things like agreeing, no name calling, no dredging up old issues that aren't relevant, and, crucially, agreeing that either person can call a timeout if it gets too intense.
A breather?
Exactly. With a promise to come back to it later when things are calmer. It just creates a safer space to disagree.
That sounds incredibly useful, actually.
It really is. And central to navigating conflict well is forgiveness.
Ah, forgiveness.
Yeah. And the sources frame it interestingly. It's not necessarily about letting the other person off the hook, but about letting yourself off the hook. Holding grudges poisons the relationship, and frankly, it hurts you too.
So it's about choosing growth over resentment.
Precisely. Forgiveness isn't forgetting, it's choosing to move forward. They even mention research like from the Gottman Institute.
Oh yeah, I know their work.
Right. It shows strong couples aren't conflict-free, but they're good at repairing after conflict. Using humor, apologies, acknowledging feelings.
Making amends quickly.
Yeah. And they also suggest reflecting after a disagreement is resolved. Like, okay, what did we learn? How can we do this better next time?
So conflict, handled this way, can actually make the relationship stronger.
That's the idea. Builds resilience. Shows you can weather storms together.
Okay, moving to tip 4. Being a safe space and cultivating intimacy. This feels connected to the conflict point, creating that safety net.
Deeply connected. Being a safe space means being that emotional anchor.
Yeah.
Listening without jumping in to fix everything.
Just being there.
Offering comfort, encouragement, but without pressure. Letting the other person be truly vulnerable, without fear of judgment.
That sense of unconditional acceptance.
Exactly. And then there's cultivating intimacy, both emotional and physical. The sources see this as an ongoing practice.
Not something you achieve and then you're done.
Right. It needs constant attention through small, consistent acts of affection.
Like what kind of things?
Oh, leaving a sweet note. Planning a surprise date night. Offering genuine compliments, not just, you look nice, but something specific about their character you admire.
Their kindness or creativity?
Exactly. The key, they stress, is not letting intimacy become just routine, predictable.
Keeping the spark alive. How do they suggest doing that?
Well, a big one is open communication. Talking honestly about desires, needs, what feels good. Apparently, this is strongly linked to satisfaction long term.
Makes sense. You have to talk about it.
And they get practical too. If life's crazy busy, they suggest actually scheduling time for intimacy or romance.
Scheduling romance. Sounds a bit clinical, maybe.
You might think so, but they frame it differently. It's not unromantic. It's a sign that you're prioritizing the connection, making it important enough to put on the calendar.
That actually reframes it completely. It's a deliberate choice.
Yeah.
So being that safe harbor and actively nurturing the connection. Crucial.
Foundational for that deep mateship.
Okay, 5th and final tip. Growing together, not apart. Because people change. Relationships evolve.
Super important point.
Yeah.
Strong mateship, according to these sources, means actively championing each other's individual growth.
Just supporting their personal goals,
Yeah.
career changes, hobbies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your partners or friends flourishing should be something you celebrate, but it's also about the shared journey.
The us.
Yes, nurturing shared dreams, checking in regularly. Where are we headed? What do we want to build together?
But keeping that shared vision alive.
And being adaptable when life throws curveballs, job loss, moving, family stuff, health issues, facing those challenges as a united front.
Seeing it as an our problem, not a your problem or my problem.
Exactly that. They mention a study from 2023 showing couples who see challenges as we problems are just way more resilient.
That makes intuitive sense.
And again, celebrating wins along the way, both individual and shared, reinforces that team feeling.
It really ties everything together, doesn't it? Communication, time, handling conflict, safety, all serving this shared growth. It's about building something resilient together.
A real partnership. A shared purpose.
So, if we zoom out from this deep dive, the big message seems to be that great relationships, great mateship, it's not passive. It's something you actively build day by day through effort in these areas.
It's a craft, really. Communicating with heart, investing time, embracing conflict, being safe, growing together.
And what's interesting is the sources suggest practicing this stuff doesn't just help the relationship, it helps you grow too.
Yeah.
Become more understanding, more supportive.
More emotionally intelligent, definitely. It's absolutely mutual growth.
A total win-win. Stronger connections, stronger self.
Couldn't agree more. Intentionally building that mateship is incredibly rewarding.
Well, this has been really insightful, unpacking the architecture of these deep connections based on the sources. Thanks for walking through it with me.
My pleasure. It's fascinating stuff. And maybe a final thought for you, based on all this material? The sources seem to suggest it's not just that you show up for someone that matters most, it's how you show up. What does that distinction, the how, mean for the way you engage in your most important relationships? Something to think about.